Well, hello everyone and welcome to Adventures in the Dark Second Edition. This is my re-review of Shadow of Nerekhall. Okay, it's time to revisit this place again. We'll start up with the rulebook, and as I open the page, contents. I love the contents. Every single time it's always about contents. Anyway, enough of that. Here's some things about using the expansion. It's actually pretty simple. You put the cards where they're supposed to be unless you're actually already in the middle of a campaign, although I myself actually prefer to just add them. You know what, why not? I mean, it's only a few bunch of monsters and overlord classes and items. I mean, what's the harm in that? Okay, next up we have, well, the power dice. Tells you about the power dice, which is a green power dice. If you haven't used them, they're green. They actually tend to roll more surges than anything else. Anyway, new classes. Classes for having tokens. It's pretty straightforward with all of that. I mean, the thing is about the bard itself. You just place one of them onto one class and the other onto either the same class card, sorry, or another one. We'll get into that a little later. So, and then we have also the Shadow Soul Familiar. Yeah, again, we'll get into that a little later. And yeah, we also have one for the Conjurer. It's just image tokens. Like I said, we'll get into that again. All of these three are from the free classes that you get into this game. The Overlord, well, they have a brand new class to use, and some universal cards, which always gets underestimated. Never underestimate the power of universal cards. So they're actually very useful. It talks about elevation. Elevation has been in the game before, and if you don't know about elevation, it blocks movement but not line of sight. You can attack, but you still can't move over elevation. That's it. So you've got to go like around, and the elevation are red dotted lines. Portcullises is a door type which you can see through it, attack through it, but you can't move through it. That's it. That's pretty simple enough, and it goes as the grey door. Hazard is actually disappointing in this, because hazard is lava. That's it. Nothing else. It's just lava. Shrugs. I know. This is all about the city anyway, and lava inside the city just seems a bit weird, so of course they'll just have to call it hazard. I mean, whatever. We have new travel cards, the city event, so you use this to travel around, and then it's going about choosing quests. I mean, it's all pretty straightforward, really all straightforward. Simple. Oh yes, the influence cards. The influence is actually something that's very specific to this campaign only, whereas you have being the Overlord, you have the specific kind of cards mainly used for a specific kind of monster, and they could actually be a bit more powerful later on in the game. The influence tokens can be advantageous to anyone as long as they do it, but otherwise they might actually do something different to something else. I mean, it's all really quite fun. And then we get to the corrupt citizen cards itself. So the influence tokens can actually affect the corrupt citizen cards. This is the way how you actually gain specific additional rules or abilities for that specific monster. So I was saying the influence could actually give you the corrupt citizen card. Oh wow, it's just so. Oh wow, it's just going on and on. and again, the corrupt citizen card is only for this campaign, none others. And then we come down to some of the story, which I like, and the fluff itself. It's quite nice. And then the campaign itself. Right, nothing's really changed about the rules itself, but there is one thing that's well, this one right here. This is actually needed to be changed completely. As it says, you need to put 8 villager tokens, but you can only see 7. In the updated FAQ rules, you're supposed to put a villager right here, and also there's only 3 search tokens. There's supposed to be 1 right there. Always check out the FAQ. That's really it about the rule book. There's nothing left about it. It's nice, simple. I like it. It's all about being in the city and what's below the city. Well, what is below the city? Sewers. Oh, I guess that's really about it. Oh, there you have it. Let's take a look at some of these tiles that I've just selected, because I quite like these tiles. These are very good. In fact, this expansion contains the most tiles that you get in an expansion. Well, rightfully so, because this is a city type expansion. So there's going to be lots of tiles in this one, and it's really good, and all of them looks really interesting. I mean, oh, look at that. This is all pit. All of that's all pit. It's kind of scary. Really, I do like these tiles. Those are very good. Oh, that's some of them. So as I've mentioned, that there are actually new travel cards, and these are these. Oh yes, there's so many of them. That's because these are city travels, and yeah, each one is expected what you expect. It's like no event, or heroes take damage, heroes become poisoned, Overlord can draw more cards, etc, etc, etc. It's the same old, but it still gives a nice little flavour to it as well. Something else I also want to show is the new condition, which is bleeding. Let's see what bleeding does. Right, so bleeding, you can use as an action to discard this card or token for each other action you resolve while you have this card or token suffer 1 fatigue. Next, I want to show you some of the Overlord cards. We'll start off with some Universal. I mean, you can't go wrong with Universal. As I said, there's like 5 of them in this one. Let's have a look at Upgrade. This is quick. Alright, play this card during your turn and discard any 1 card from your hand. Search your Overlord deck for 1 card of your choice with the same trait. So if it's an event card, you pick up another event card, or magic, or trap, etc. Right, as the discarded card, okay? Reveal the chosen card and then place it into your hand, then shuffle your Overlord deck. It's only 1 to use. Well, 1 to buy anyway. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. An easy way to just try and find the cards that you actually want. I also want to show another one, which is called Focus. No, it's not called Focus, but it's called Diverse Means. It says play this card when a monster is attacked, defense dice are rolled. Well, actually that's supposed to be play this card when a monster is attacked after dice are rolled. That's really about it. And then you reveal any number of Overlord cards from your hand. That monster recovers 1 damage and adds 1 shield to their defense results for each non-basic Overlord card you reveal. And this one costs 2. Now, Shadowmancer. Oh, new class. Right. I'm only going to show you 3. So, Out of Darkness. This is an event card. Play this card when a hero is revived. Immediately perform an attack with that hero as if they were one of your monsters. This attack must target another hero, and it's only 1 to buy. Excellent. Blackout. This is a magic card. Play this card at the end of your turn. Until the start of your next turn, monsters cannot be targeted by an attack unless the attacking hero is within 2 spaces of them. That's 2. Good. Right. And Treacherous Shadows. This is a magic attack. Right, so play this card at the start of your turn. Each hero tests willpower. For each hero who fails, you may perform an attack with that hero as if they were one of your monsters. You can force them to attack themselves, and that's a 3. Oh yes, Shadowmancer is quite an interesting one to use. Next up we come to the warrior class, and if I just go ahead and, oh jeez, they've come everywhere. Right, if I just show you what they start off with, they have the skill Dual Strike. So let's have a look. Right, exhaust a card when you perform an attack before dice are rolled. If you have 2 melee weapons with one hand icon each equipped, add 1 surge to the result. You may use the surge abilities on both weapons during the attack, and it only takes 2 of your fatigue. You actually start off with like 2 melee weapons, both with 1 hand icon each. Blue green, blue yellow. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, go with whichever one you want to keep using. Let's have a look at some of the skills as well. Let's have a look at Deep Wounds. It's 1 to buy if it wants to focus properly. There you go. So the Skirmisher, 1 Deep Wounds, go! Exhaust this card when you resolve an attack that dealt at least 1 damage to the monster after the defense roll. That monster suffers 1 additional damage and is bleeding. That's only 1 to use. That's very good. How about another one? It's Unrelenting, 2 to buy. Right. Exhaust this card after resolving an attack with a melee weapon with 1 hand icon. I've already shown some of that already. Perform an attack that targets one of the same monsters with a different melee weapon with 1 hand icon. Only 1 to use. There you go. It's like you're using 2 single action attacks for just 1. That's awesome. Of course, you have to target same type of monsters. So if you're targeting a goblin archer, then you have to target either another goblin archer or the same goblin archer. I mean, that's fine. That's a very, very good one to go for. Now let's have a look at another one, which is a 3 to buy. Carve a path, if it just focuses a little bit. Right, so apply +1 to your speed. That's really nice, that is. So as an action, move up to your speed with the +1 you already get, then perform an attack. Okay, during this movement, you may move through spaces containing enemy figures. This attack affects each monster you move through during this action, and it uses 3 fatigue to use. That is quite expensive, but at the same time, you're getting +1 to your speed. You can move up to your speed. You can move through monsters. You can attack every single monster that you go through, and it's just 1 action. I mean, that is really powerful. I mean, just wow. Next up we have the Shadow Walker. So if we have a look at this, we get, right, start off with Soulbound. Use this card when you perform an attack that is not a miss. Place a Shadow Soul in any space adjacent to the target. Only 1 Shadow Soul can be on the map at any time, and there's only 1 to use. So the Shadow Soul has no health, no defense, 1 move. The Shadow Soul may occupy any space containing figures or terrain. Each time a monster in a space containing or adjacent to a Shadow Soul suffers 1 damage from an attack, it suffers 1 additional. There you have it. That's quite nice. You also start off with the Feathered Hatchet. So it is a range weapon. It's an axe exotic. It's a short range, blue-red, surge +1 range, surge bleed, and it's 1-handed. You also get, armor. It's a cloak, tribal cloak. Right, exhaust a card when you perform a rest action. While this card is exhausted, add 1 additional brown die to your defense pool. Okay, that's something simple. How about some cards that you can buy then? Dark Servant. So it's 1 to buy. Use an action. Exhaust this card to search a search token within 3 spaces of a Shadow Soul. Then discard that Shadow Soul. And that's it. Just 1 action. That's it. So you don't have to move closer to a search token or one that's actually hard to get to. You just use that card. It's very good. Right now. Otherworldly, 2 to buy. Right. Each attack that targets a monster in a space containing or adjacent to a Shadow Soul gains Pierce 1. Each time you spend 1 surge to recover 1 fatigue, Your attack gains +1 damage. That's it. That's it. It's a complete passive ability. I like that. And how about one that takes 3 to buy? Shadow Puppet. Right, it's an action. Exhaust this card to choose a monster within 3 spaces of a Shadow Soul. Perform an attack with that Shadow Soul using the attack type, dice, and surge abilities of that monster. Using 3 to use. That is, well, I mean, not so bad. I mean, sometimes you might be having a hard time in trying to do things that might seem almost impossible. Sorry. Like Act 1, this could be very powerful. Act 2, it all depends on the equipment. I mean, at the beginning of Act 2, this is still quite powerful. At the end of Act 2, well, that all depends on what kind of equipment that you got. But still, the monsters can be quite powerful, especially with the lieutenants. Then this can be very good all the way through. Yeah, here is your Shadow Soul, just a simple little token, that's it, and it just sits there happy. Next up is the Bard, and if we pick up the Bard and have a look, and we start with a Traveller's Blade. Okay, I'm starting with the equipment this time with this class because, well, you'd know. Anyway, so it's a melee weapon. It's blue, yellow, surge, pierce 1, surge, gain 1 movement point, one-handed. You also get loot, which is exhaust this card during your turn and suffer 1 fatigue. To choose 1 hero from 3 spaces of you. That hero recovers 1 fatigue. It's a trinket, nice little trinket, you know. Right, Song of Mending. Okay, here we go. This is the one that you start with. Use this card during your turn to place a song token on this card. Right, you get 2 song tokens. I just saw it in the book, and it's these 2 right here. Oh, okay, focus. That's it. There you go. Right, 2 different symbols. So if we go back to this card again, right, if you use this symbol, so if you put that one onto this card, at the end of your turn, each hero from 3 spaces of you recovers 1 damage. Use the another symbol or this symbol on it. At the end of your turn, each other hero within 3 spaces of you recovers 1 fatigue, and it costs 2 to use. So you use up 2 of your fatigue, and you place either one of these or one of these on it. You could also just do it again, and there you have both symbols on it. There you go, and then there you got both abilities activated. Right, there you go. This actually is pretty simple. Right, what about stuff that you can buy? How about this one? It costs 1 to buy. It's called Understudy. Right, use this card during your turn to place a song token on this card. One of those. Okay, so you got 2 different abilities on there. Each time a hero from 3 spaces of you recovers 1 more health, they recover 1 additional health. Each time a hero within 3 spaces of you recovers 1 or more fatigue, they recover 1 additional fatigue. This costs 1 to use. Yeah. Okay, how about one of them that costs 2, which is concentration. At the start of your turn, if both of your song tokens are on a different class cards, you recover 1 damage and 1 fatigue. Exhaust this card when a hero within 3 spaces of you recovers 1 or more health damage. That hero recovers 2 additional damage, which is good when it comes down to the Song of Mending. And how about one that's costs 3, which is called Wayfarer. Right, so add 2 to your health. All of your both symbols, both tokens, okay, effects apply within 5 spaces instead of 3. Each time you place a song token of one of your class cards, you may move 1 space. So you're literally just doing that and move, that and move. Great. And that's what this class is all about. You're using your song tokens to good effect. And it's a very decent buffing, healing class, and it works really well. Last but not least, we have the Conjurer class, which is the mage class. Let's have a look. We have Channeling, Right, so you may discard any number of image tokens at any time during your turn. You may spend one movement point during your turn to move an image token one space. So as an action, perform an attack with a magic weapon. Measure range and line of sight from one of your image tokens. Okay, so how do you get them onto play? Onto play or into play? Right, mirror image. Use this card whilst on your turn, and suffer the fatigue equal to the number of image tokens on the map. This is for your turn only. Okay. Then place one image token in an empty space within 2 spaces of your figure. An image token is treated as a hero figure with your attributes and a grey defense die. If an image token suffers damage or fatigue, it is discarded and you suffer 1 damage and 1 fatigue. So they do get in the way. Nice. And you start off with the prismatic staff, which is a ranged weapon, magic staff. So surge plus 1 damage, surge plus 1 damage, surge down, 2-handed, blue and green. Short range, but you get the surges in no time. Right, before we continue on, you actually get 4. Oh, that really went well, didn't it? 4 image tokens. So you got 4 of them to play around with. Right, let's see what you can buy. Well, some of them anyway. You can have Illusionary Path, which is 1 to buy. Monsters must spend 1 additional movement point to enter a space adjacent to an image token. Each time you suffer 1 fatigue, you gain 1 movement point. You may move an image token 1 space. And it's just a passive thing. You know, just thinking about it, it's like, of course, monsters only tend to can actually use 1 of their actions to attack. So they could actually attack an image token if necessary, or they can go ahead and try to do more damage to a hero. Well, that's the decision for the Overlord. Remember, the Conjurer will actually take 1 damage and 1 fatigue if one of these gets destroyed. But that's I mean, that's fine. That's easily mendable. Right, anyway, Binding Light, 2 to buy. Alright, exhaust this card when you are attacked before dice are rolled. Add 2 shields to your defense results. After the attack results, place an image token in an empty space adjacent to your figure if this attack did not deal at least 1 damage after the defense roll. You may move up to 2 spaces and it takes 2 to use. That's pretty good, actually. Just puts one of your image tokens out on the board a little bit easier. And gives you buffs as well. Right, next one is Prismatic Assault, free to use. It's an action. Exhaust this card for each image token on the map. You may either move the image token up to your speed or perform an attack with a magic weapon. If you perform an attack, measure range and line of sight from the image token. That's 3 to use. And this is for each image token on the map. So, if you have 3 image tokens, you can decide to move this one up to your speed, this one to attack, and then that one to attack if you wanted to, or all of them attack, or all 4 of them attack. I mean, that's brilliant. I love it. It's a very good, very, very good class to use. Let's begin with some of these cards, shall we? The cards that you could get in the game box itself, which is Act 1 shop cards, Act 2 shop cards, relics, and the 2 green dice. Let's have a look at some of these Act 1 shop cards which you could actually buy, which is Baron's Cloak, which is 125. It's a cloak, +1 to your health. You are immune to pierce. Wow. And it's a brown defense dice as well, so there's body armor. Yeah, you could also get Bone Blade, which is 125. It's a melee weapon. Blade, pierce 1. Surge +2 damage. Surge bleed is 1-handed and it's a blue-red. Let's have a look at Act 2. Ironbound Glaive. Right, it's a melee weapon. It's 175. It's blade staff. Reach. Surge +3, Surge Pierce 3, it's two-handed. Blue, red, yellow. Let's go for repeating crossbow. It's range 200, bow exotic. Surge, this attack affects one additional figure adjacent to your target. Alright, so Surge +3, two-handed, and it's blue, red, yellow. Right. Star of Kelos 175, trinket. Add one additional green power dice to your attack pools. We have the free relics, all both sides. I don't think we're going to actually show you exactly. So you might want to just pause that video and zoom in a bit. Even if you can, you can't. But you know, it's fine. And the green dice, exactly as I said. Mainly surges, a lot of surges, and some of them actually has one range or one damage, or all three. And you get 2 dice. There you go. We're now going to the monsters, which is the rat swarm. Let's have a look at the Act 1. So you've got movement 3, 4 wounds, brown defense dice. You've got an ability called Merge, it takes an action. Another one, action Rend, Surge Feast, green attack dice, sorry. The Master, yet again, green attack dice. So it just will always never miss, you know, so there you go. Have Ravenous, and everything else is exactly the same. But the Master has one additional health. Let's have a look at what they actually do. We've got Ravenous. So the Master, right, when attacking a hero that has bleeding, this monster adds 1 surge to the attack results. Merge, choose one monster adjacent to this monster of the same group. This monster suffers damage equal to the remaining health, and the chosen monster recovers an equal amount of health. Right, so Rend is choose a hero adjacent to this monster to test might. If they fail, they are bleeding. And Feast, which is that surge, single surge. This attack gains X damage, where X is the equal to the monster's remaining health. So the health could be 4 plus maybe 1 perhaps, or 5 with 1 perhaps. Yeah, it's fine. Act 2, well, the minions have 1 additional extra health with a grey defense instead of a brown, whilst the Master has 1 additional health, so it brings it to 6, and has a grey defense dice. And these are the rats. I quite like the model itself, although that bit just looks just too weird. It's like, what are they jumping over? They're not jumping over anything. There's nothing there to like kind of crawl up. It's just a little bit weird, that, but it's fine. I think it's good. So yay, rat swarm. Okay, it's not great, but it's not bad, I guess. Next up we have the Ironbound. The Ironbounds are awesome. But why are they awesome? They only have a movement of 2, 8 health with 2 grey defense. I mean, they also have reach, Ironskin, protect, blue and red. And these are the Act 1s, by the way. The Master gets a surge +2 with 10 health. So let's have a look at their skills. Well, the reach is pretty simple. It's already may attack targets up 2 spaces away. Okay, Ironskin. The monster is immune to pierce and all conditions. Okay, well, that's pretty good. But protect. Each time a figure in this monster's line of sight performs an attack targeting a figure adjacent to this monster, before dice are rolled, this monster may suffer 1 damage to become the target of the attack. Range and line of sight are all still measured to the original target's space. And yeah, I mean, that is just brilliant. I mean, the amount of times when there's specific lieutenants or specific monsters that need to be killed or something, these are the ones that you go for to say, we'll try and get for them now. Anyway, let's have a look at the Act 2. They still only have 2 movement. Anyway. 10 health. Grey and black. Blue, red and green. Double surge +2, while the master is double surge +3. Oh yes, and 12 health. Absolutely amazing. And this is the Ironbound itself. I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, his spear is a bit bent. He's been in a box where unfortunately it's been kind of crushed on, which I could have sworn I put him in the right place, but oh well, it happens. I'll just have to refix it a little bit more later. Next up is the Infernal Hulks. Right, they have a movement of 3, 8 health, a single grey defense dice. They have a action called Blood and that one too. They also have Blood Rush. They have a surge of knockback. Blue and red. The master has well, charge. Surge of charge. Good luck in trying to get those surges with blue and red though. 9 health, so you know, that's one more. What do these do then? Okay, so action Blood Rush. The monster suffers 1 damage and gains 5 movement points. Limit once per turn. So that 3, well, it becomes an 8. That's pretty good. Right. Charge. If this monster was not adjacent to the target at the start of this turn, the attack gains +3 damage. So really, that surge becomes a +3 damage instead, which is pretty good if you can actually get that surge. And then you've got the surge knockback. Remove the target from the map, then place them on any empty space within 3 spaces of their original space. They count as entering that space. So of course down pits, in lava, or well in this case hazard. Yeah, okay. And yeah, I'll say it. And Act 2, well, they get an extra health with a black defense dice. Yeah. They also get a yellow dice, which means the surge is a little bit more easier to get. 10 health, black defense dice. And let's have a look at the Infernal Hulk itself. Well, big base, kind of big, scary, mean, aggressive. Quite like the model itself. They have come in handy numerous times because of that charge. But that's really about it. The last monster in this group is called the Changeling, and as we have a look, sorry. Movement 4 health, grey and brown. Right, they have an action called Whisper, they have a surge of Wither, and they have a surge of Bleed. Blue and red, they are melee types, and the monster has blue and red. It has Hideous Laughter though, and additional +2 health. What do all of these do? Right, Hideous Laughter. Each hero within 3 spaces of this monster applies -1 to their, well, all stats really. Right, Whisper. Each hero adjacent to this monster tests willpower. Each hero who fails moves 1 space in the direction of your choice. Whether the target suffers 1 fatigue, which is awesome by the way. And surge bleed. If the attack deals at least 1 damage, the target is bleeding. And you get a good number of them. So let's have a look at the Act 2. Right, so Act 2 they have 6 health, which is instead of 4. Exactly the same stats. The master gets a yellow dice, but has 8 health and a black. Oh wait, sorry. The minions all get the black and brown as well. So that's actually really good. And the model itself is, if it focus a bit, there we go. I think I quite like these models. So it's pretty good. I think it might be a bit too bright for the lighting at the moment. There you go. Yes, they do look pretty good. Now, I have left these to last because there's a little bit more to them than meets the eye. I mean, that's what you'd normally basically get anyway. But in this game, during this specific campaign, you get these 3 tokens, and you just, as the Overlord, you take 2 of them away and you hide one. So, no one's allowed to know which tokens you have. Well, because they actually do something at a certain point. One of the rewards for doing something like that, if the heroes don't manage to complete one of the quests or whatever happens, could get one of these, and these could power up your changelings. For example, the Guardsman. Player's card when a monster changeling is placed on the map. The master changeling applies +2 to its health per hero and adds 1 additional black die to its defense pool. The master changeling also gains shambling. This monster may not perform more than 1 move action during a single turn. Or let's have a look at the Executioner, which is quite fun. Player's card when a master changeling is placed on the map. You always get master changeling no matter what. 1 minion, 1 master, 2 minions, 1 master, 3 minions, 1 master. Anyway. The master changeling applies +2 to his health per hero. The master changeling gains Surge Coup de Grace. This attack gains +2 for each condition card or token in its play area. And let's have a look at one more. How about the Scoundrel? So player's card when a master changeling is placed on the map. The master changeling applies +1 to its health per hero, adds 1 additional brown dice to its defense pool, and gains 3 movement points each time it activates. The master changeling also gains Ravage. Both of the monsters' actions on a turn may be attack actions. Right, anyway, that is specific only for the Shadows of Nerekhall campaign only. But apart from that, these can be used in any campaign, and they are actually very good. We'll come on to the lieutenants now. Finally, right, we got Verminous, which is 2, 3, 2, 5. Stealthy, Surge Scheme, Double Surge +2. Movement 3, 8, 10, 13. 1 grey, grey, brown. Melee, blue, yellow, green. This is the Act 1. Stealthy, so each attack that targets Verminous must roll 3 additional range beyond the normally required amount, or the attack is a miss. That's including melee weapons as well. Scheme, discard 1 Overlord card from your hand to draw 1 Overlord card. And Act 2 version has Master Plan. Double Surge is +3, 11, 13, 17. Grey, brown, black, grey, blue, yellow, green. Right, Master Plan. Each time you play an Overlord card, choose 1 hero from free space to Verminous. That hero suffers 1 damage. Nice. And he takes up 2 spaces. You know, it's not bad. Tristane Olivan is next, so if I attempt to pick him up, right. 2, 4, 4, 2, Ravage, Chaotic Energy, Surge +2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 10, 12, 14, grey, black, range, blue and red. So both of Tristane Olivan's attack actions may be attack actions. Chaotic Energy, each time Tristane Olivan performs an attack with 4 dice are rolled, he may suffer up to 3 damage. This attack deals an additional damage equal to the damage suffered. Tristane cannot do this if suffering the wound that will damage that would defeat him. Yeah, that's pretty sick, really. 12, 15, 18, black, double grey, black, grey, range, blue, red, yellow. And you got Soul Siphon. Right, so Soul Siphon. Each time Tristane Olivan suffers damage from any source other than an attack, you may choose an adjacent monster. that monster suffers that amount of damage instead. So that's any other than an attack. For example, chaotic energy. And he takes up 1 space. It's amazing, really. We have Rylan Oliver next. Right, Rylan Oliver. 1, 4, 3, 3. Influence, double surge, subdue, and surge +2. Free movement, 8, 10, 12. Grey, grey, black. Range, blue, green, green. And influence. Right, choose one figure adjacent to Rylan Oliver. That figure immediately performs one action of the controlling player's choice. Limit once per round. Subdue. If this attack deals at least 1 damage, choose one condition. The target suffers the chosen condition. I do like those types when it's like, you get to pick. I mean, I like that, especially when you get lots of expansions. There's a lot more choices. Right, so next up we have Precise. And yeah, okay, that's 12, 14, 17. Black, 2 grey, 2 grey. Blue, red, green, green. Right, so Precise. Adjacent figures do not block Rylan Oliver's lines of sight. Takes up 1 space. So, you know, it's not bad. He's probably a little bit more easier to deal with, but he still can be quite tricky. Last we have Merciless. Right, we have a 3, a 5, 3, 2, or a 1. There's a action right there called Split Earth, Double Surge Blast. Movement 3, 13, 16, 19. Black, 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 brown. Range attack, blue, red, green. So, Aura. Each time a hero enters a space adjacent to Merciless, that hero suffers 1 damage because it's Aura 1. Right, so that Split Earth. Starting with a space adjacent to Merciless, trace a path of 4 spaces in any direction. Each figure on this path suffers 1 damage and moves to an empty adjacent space of your choice. Limit once per round. And then you got like Blast, which is Blast. Act 2, Aura 2, and Sorcery 3. 18, 21, 24. Black, brown, black, brown, black, grey, blue, red, yellow, green. And if you don't know about sorcery, sorcery is after making an attack roll, Merciless may convert up to X range to damage or up to X damage to range. And well, he takes up 4 spaces. So it's a nasty one, that's for sure. It's quite deadly. I like using the Split Earth a lot, so that's always fun. Next up we come to the heroes, which we'll start off with Orcal the Swift. He's a warrior. He's got movement 5, 10 health, 5 fatigue, brown defense dice. He's got 4, 1, 2, 4. His hero ability is each time you are attacked by a monster and suffer at least 1 damage, you may move 1 space after the attack. It's pretty handy, isn't it? Heroic feat. Use during your turn while you are knocked out to perform a stand-up action. Then you may either recover all health, or well, all damage, or move each monster adjacent to your figure 1 space. You can still perform 2 actions this turn, which is awesome. And his hero figure is well, someone that's running around acting crazy, as he should be. I mean, he is kind of crazy. So he's not a bad warrior as well. Drunk too. Next up is Rendiel, and he's the healer. So movement 5, well, that's because he's an elf. 10 health, 4 fatigue, grey defense dice. Then we have 2 green, 5, 1, and hero ability is each time you revive a hero, you recover 2 health and 2 fatigue. Heroic feat is an action. Revive an adjacent knocked out hero. Instead of rolling 2 red power dice, that hero recovers all damage and fatigue as well. which, I mean, that's actually very good. I mean, it does take up an action, but I think that's fine. His model, well, doesn't actually match the picture, which is always weird when it's like that. And he's also really flimsy as well. Yeah, because it's just almost like a T. See, that's just more of a T. A wonky T, but still. Okay. Next up is Tenashi the Wanderer, who's a scout. She has a movement 4, 12 health, 4 fatigue, and a grey defense dice. She's got 3, 2, 3, 3. That's pretty good running. Hero ability: each time you defeat a monster, you recover 1 fatigue. That's good. Heroic feat, right. Use during your turn to choose an empty space within 3 spaces of your figure. Remove your figure from the map and place it in a chosen space. Ah, that's actually, well, pretty good actually. Oh, I quite like that. And her miniature is, focus a bit. Not bad, not bad, it's okay. Just looks a little bit weird. But so far, all 3 miniatures are kind of slim. It's just a way of like saying quickly, we must go quick and all that stuff. Well, that's alright. Last but not least, we have Ravella Lightfoot. And she's a gnome, and she's the mage. Right, so movement 4, 8 health, 5 fatigue, black defense dice. 1, 4, 2, 4. Hero ability: if you roll 1 or more blanks when rolling defense dice, add 1 shield to your defense result. So you're always going to have a minimum of 1 defense, which is actually not bad from being a mage. Right, heroic feat: when you are attacked, after you roll defense dice, test willpower and awareness. Willpower, that's knowledge. Knowledge and awareness. For each test you pass, add 3 defense to your defense rolls. I don't think that's all that necessary. I mean, you already start with a black defense dice. You have a hero ability where you already get 1 in. I mean, yeah, sure. I've been the Overlord many times, and I've always targeted the mages because they're a little bit more easy to kill. But it's very defensive, very defensive. Anyway, her miniature is not bad, not bad. Doesn't match her portraits at all, but still not bad. It's good. So there you have it. That was the Descent Journeys in the Dark Second Edition Shadows of Nerekhall. What do I think of the Shadow of Nerekhall? I think it's a good expansion, that's for sure. I mean, the cityscape and the sewers, I mean, wow, that's that's really good. I mean, it does actually feel like a brand new campaign. I mean, they all feel like brand new, but this feels like something completely different. The heroes, the classes are actually not bad, and I quite like the classes because they're very good, all of them. And I like the monster of the changelings, that is. There's some decent shop Act 1 and Act 2 cards in there. I mean, you get a lot out of this. I mean, a lot. Because you get so many brand new tiles because it's inside a city. So therefore it's very good purchase. Very good. I mean, you just can't really go wrong with this. Just wow, there's so much going on and it feels like there isn't at the same time. It's just more of a mystery of what happens. The story, I think, is brilliant. Yeah, and it's really only playable for 4 heroes. You can't complete this using 2 heroes. I mean, that's the one thing that they haven't quite changed properly. Well, they kind of have, just not in a way that's all that great still. So if you do play this, you should really use 4 heroes. I mean, a lot of people would choose 4 heroes anyway because why not? It's fun. Let me think. So yeah, I think all the little surprises and things that's hidden from like, the Overlord hiding tokens, going, aha, I know what I'm having and all that stuff. It is brilliant. It's so good. So what do I rate this? I'm going to have to rate this one an 8 out of 10 because it actually is good. I would have rated it actually higher. Yeah, like I said, the classes are excellent. The heroes just, yeah, there's some good stuff to it. And the monsters could have been a little bit better. I mean, the changelings literally are one of the best in the game. But yeah, that's really it. So it's 8 out of 10. So really, that's all I have for this. Yeah, so thank you very much, and until next time, bye.